Hello, here you go, Gypsy. Little visit today to our friend Nick Lyons, who's the artist and collector that I've done a previous video on. So he's got an open studios today, so we thought we'd come and have a look. Follow me. It's lovely at Nick's. It's a very nice old Norfolk vibe here. And he's got a few of his little carts out and his bits and pieces. These are all his models. So he does a lot of, well, I'll show you his paintings in a minute. He does a lot of sort of Norfolk scenes and lots of carts, wagons, tractors, that sort of thing. It's a really nice little setup here. And he's a very, very nice, interesting fella. So I'll show you, there's two parts of the studio, but I'll show you one now. So this is a fairly good example of the stuff he does. Oil on board. Scenes around his farm really and around the area. And quite unusually for an artist, he has got quite a high turnover of work, which is unusual. The productivity is quite high. These are some of his bits. These thin ones are quite good. Oh, there's that Karen herd. Both seen a couple of favourites today, haven't we, dear?
Yeah. And a fight over which one? Sheep.
Lots of sheeps. These, I think, are some stuff that he's found from years ago that he'd had stashed in somewhere that he's just chucked out. But yeah, Nick Lyons in this area is quite a well-regarded artist and a musician and wheelwright and a number of different things. Man from my own heart, really. Got a shed for each occasion. I'm going to try and get him to come over and have a chat now and explain some of his bits and pieces. The thing has, Nick sort of sets out little scenes like this. I mean, this is just a pile of old rubbish to some people, but this is a nice little picture with the pump, etc, etc. Same as the old Austin in the shed. So that would make a painting within itself. So this is how he kind of sets things out. I think in a previous life he was a stage designer or something. But, this is like every yard that I ever used to go to as a kid. Walk around these places and see sheds full of old pumps and bits of machinery. Right, let's see if we can get him out for a chat. Some more in here. These are nice. Quite fond of that tractor.
I'm afraid with my father being in the
That hay bale one's nice. It's Karen's little favourite. And again, nice space.
I went with home and white women and they cut the toast into
and here's the man. Look, you've like looking very artistic. Yeah, very artistic. Yeah, you should have a beret on and a cigarette.
I've got to ask.
Right, so we've got the main man. He's going to talk us through these. Look. So the stuff, I'm just saying, the stuff on the bench is stuff that you found laying about, as you said.
It was at the back of a shed and it's all covered in cobwebs and dust and I'm going to dust it off and varnish a couple.
Reseal, yeah.
And see if they're, worth keeping. If not, I'll mend the chicken house with them or something.
Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah. So
free materials.
so this is an accumulation of work over several years then.
This is my show here at the farm this summer. I've hung the work that I've done over the last 3 summers. That includes this summer.
Right.
So it goes back.
That's pretty high productivity though, isn't it?
Yeah. I've found room for just over 100 paintings, and so yeah. I suppose I must do 30 or 40 every summer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And for the people who didn't watch the previous video, most of these around this is an ex-council farm, and most of these are around the site, aren't they, of your own stuff?
I really don't travel anywhere, and I like to just concentrate on my home patch, and so at least half of paintings are painted here on the farm, in my buildings and around my buildings and on my land, and about half, I suppose, are painted around the village.
Yeah. Well, we just had a delivery in Ridlington over the back there, and we just drove round the back of to get to you, and Karen was commenting how lovely everything. It's a nice bit of countryside round here anyway, isn't it?
It is, and this is fabulous time of year.
Yeah.
When the colour really comes out, and I shall start painting again at the end of this show, which is a week today.
Cool.
And so I'll get August and September with some good painting weather. Yeah. And I'll probably do most of that away from here. I'll probably do most of that round the village.
Right.
I would think.
Are you do any sort of autumnal winter stuff, or is it mainly summer?
I don't do much because at that time of year, because if I haven't got the bright light to work by, I don't get very motivated to work.
No.
It's the light and the colour that I enjoy. But in the winter, you can sometimes find something that takes your eye, and it'll be like something that's half in a shed and half out, and so you get a kind of cut off in the light.
It's definitely a different light, isn't it? You've got a lower sun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you've really got to work hard to find any colour.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. And the days are shorter, and it's bloody cold out there working. And, you know. So, but I've got, we're standing now in my workshop, which is, a woodworking workshop. And my plan is to be in here over the winter. I've got various schemes on. I restore old horse-drawn vehicles and old sort of agricultural stuff. So I've got several patients to deal with. And
this is, we had this last time we came. I have got workshop envy, because you've got little areas for all sorts around the farm, which we've done the previous video of. But if you had to spend the winter in here, I could think of a hell of a lot worse places to be.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I've got an old stove here.
Yeah.
That runs on gas, but I don't suppose I'll ever get it very warm in here. I need better lights. The lighting that you see today is just work lamps rigged up on extension leads, and so if I sell a bit of work from this show, I'm going to spend it on getting an electrician in to, put me up some strip lights.
We at the studio, we actually spent probably £1,000 on each room with strip lights with a certain bulb in, so you got like a clear white work light, and they were better to work under rather than the fluorescent flickeries. But I think they were 60 quid a tube, and we used to have like 10 of them in each room.
I think I need 12 in here.
Yeah. But I will say, after 10 or 15 years of working under them, that was a good investment. It's a nice thing to be able to do.
As I get older, my eyes and ability to see things, I find is very challenged. I'm all, you know, I mean, we got to get prescription glasses now, but I find as soon as I come in, say a room like this, where you know, for all the electric light, it's nowhere near as bright as outside.
No.
I find my vision goes a bit fuzzy, you know.
Work time, this is the thing that affected us when we were tattooing, is that if you were doing 8 or 10 hours a day tattooing, you'd find that you couldn't even focus on anything after that. You get home, you couldn't watch a TV or read a book or anything. No. What do you do in a day, like hour-wise? Do you do just a couple of hours and then have a break and then...
Yeah, if I'm painting outside, I'll probably do 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah,
more or less continuously. But I mean, I do like to just down tools at different points and just go and have a drink and a sandwich, and I find now I then just put on dark glasses.
Yeah.
You know, and literally rest my eyes
for
a bit.
Yeah.
And because it's very intensive.
Yes, I mean...
Looking at things and working out what colours things are.
Strangely a different thing to physical work, but strangely exhausting. I know when I'd do a day in a tattoo studio, I'd come home and feel as knackered, or more knackered sometimes than I would if I'd been out putting curbs in or concreting all day. You'd have a shower, a couple of pints, and you'd recover quite quickly, but a day in the studio, you'd be wiped out.
Yeah, I find it very taxing that, and people say to me, foolishly, they say, "Oh, it must be lovely, you know, being painting. It must be so relaxing," they say, and sort of like a form of relaxation or
a little therapy, painting therapy.
And I say, well, if that's what you think, you're just not doing it. You know, you've got to really punish yourself over it to be any good. You know, you've got to look really hard and then almost not believe what you see and look again. And, you know, it's constant sort of examination of everything. Yeah, it's you know, you're not going to build up any muscles, but it's still intensive work. And so.
No, well, I'd say we're very impressed with what we see, but we are a bit biased because we do like your work. So, right, and I'll see what she's up to. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Always a pleasure to catch up with Nick, and I'd love to do some more videos with him. We're going to try and do some wheelwriting stuff when he's in the mood for that. So it's great to catch up, check out some of his artwork, and just chew the fat for a bit. So anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.